PM in the UK, it's 9 AM Eastern, and I'm looking forward to this show and being joined by Fonz, who should be with us shortly. This is I Live Here, and virtually anything can happen during the course of the broadcast, but today we have prizes, and I suppose the first thing to do is to actually tell you a little bit about prizes, as I've confirmed that we are live. And today we're on BeLive version 1. Fonz is coming in by iPhone. iPhone will arrive on BeLive Studio 2 soon, we've been told, fingers crossed. So that's good. And welcome to everyone who's watching. Welcome to the show. And several times during the show, I'm going to be telling you about the ultimate live streaming bundle, which you can win. I suppose the best way to tell you about it is to share my Chrome tab, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And I'm going to bring that into the broadcast. And in a minute, okay, I'm going to bring it up on screen and bring it into the broadcast, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, you can win over $2,000 worth of prizes, and BeLive is celebrating the launch of the BeLive Studio 2 beta, the best and easiest way to produce the most engaging live stream. Now, I can agree with that totally, and BeLive want you to be part of the celebration. That's why we're giving away the following. You can win a MacBook Air 13-inch with 8 gig of RAM, 128 gig SSD, a Logitech C920 camera, which is the one that I'm using today, a Neva professional condenser microphone, and again, a ring light from Neva, and then 6 months of the BeLive standard package worth $150. And all you have to do to win that is to click this link. And I'm going to post the link now. And okay, just a second. I'm going to post a link to show you can win. I can't post it there. Oh, good. Hang on. Yes, I can. Okay, so I'm now posting the link. I click that link and you can enter the draw. And you can enter the draw in any which way you can. And you'll then be, say good morning to Barb. If you enter the draw, you've got to sign up for BeLive, but, well, have you? I don't know. Just try it and see. You've got good odds of winning, and just to reiterate what you can win, I'm going to have a crawler along the bottom. You can win a MacBook Air 13-inch 2018 model with 8 gig of RAM and 128 gig SSD storage, a Logitech C920 camera, which is the one that I'm using, and in addition to that, I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm going to say Neva NW700 professional condenser microphone. And all you need to do to win this, all of this, is to actually click the link that I've just posted, and then you've got a 14-inch LED ring light, which will brighten your show, no doubt. And to wrap it all up, you have 6 months of BeLive TV, which is worth $150. I'm going to say hello to Chuck. Chuck, thank you for joining us. Now, the other day I ran a competition, and I'm going to show this again. I ran a competition to actually win 6 months of BeLive.tv, and I can say that the winner was Tar, and that's Tar Dixon, and she won the prize. And I'm going to take that off screen for the moment. What you need to do is click the link and you can enter and win a prize. So I've got a good morning from Rebecca. Rebecca, nice to see you. And then a comment coming in from Barb. I clicked the link before you went live. It worked, but this contest is just for new users. Yeah, it is for new users to BeLive.tv. They should have that in neon lights. If you've not, which is why I said in the text of this broadcast, if you've not used BeLive before, then there is a competition you can enter. And all you need to do, I'll post the link again, so we've got it a couple of times in the thread, so people can't miss it. If you've never used BeLive.tv before, then just click the link, that link, and you can enter the competition and sign up for BeLive. So thank you for pointing that out, Barb. Perhaps next time they hold a competition, they will put it up in bright neon lights so that we all know exactly who's eligible and who's not, because you've got to read the very small print to know. Right, okay. So let's take that down and back to me. I'll bring that back later in the show. Now, if you want to join me on camera, we are on BeLive version 1 today because Fonz is going to come in via iPhone, and we don't have iPhone on Studio 2 yet. And that's the link, and Barb is saying, Bob's going to pass the message along. Good, good. I mean, it's basically the competition's got 3 days to go, and for anybody who's interested in getting into live broadcasting, this is an amazing deal. And if I was new to live broadcasting, I would be very appreciative of the mic and also of the BeLive and the ring light and the microphone and everything that's in the ultimate live streaming bundle. Right, now I'm checking Messenger to see whether Fonz is around. I'm not sure that he is. I know that he's actually today may well be tied up busy in Cambridge, but he may join us. So if you want to join me on camera, there's 3 spare seats at the moment, and you're more than welcome to do so. And I'm going to switch screens. That's very strange. Okay, I'm going to take Barb's comment off screen. Okay, now these are exciting times, whether you're on BeLive or on StreamYard. There's a lot going on. And one thing that I'm looking forward to is to actually be able to stream to YouTube from BeLive. That's going to be brilliant. I tried it from StreamYard, quite enjoyed it. And for BeLive to do that will be good. 4 people on screen, broadcasting live to YouTube. And we should then be able to build an audience on YouTube, because incredibly, that's where people actually go to watch live video. There are no distractions. YouTube is probably the best place to actually broadcast if you want people to actually watch your show. Other interesting things. BeLive is going to have RTMP, which means that we'll be able to broadcast out to, for example, for Periscope, and it's going to have RTMP in, so that you can ingest and you can bring in your vMix or your XSplit or your OBS into the studio without having to go through the rigmarole of having a virtual camera. Now, I don't have the virtual camera today. I've just got the background, the green screen, as you can see, and that makes a world of difference. It's about $50 from Amazon. And just to remember, to anybody who's on Amazon and got Amazon Prime, in case you don't know, today's Amazon Prime Day. I've got my eyes on a Fire, the 8-inch one, so I may well order myself an Amazon Fire 8-inch, which at the moment is, well, it's about 30% off, which you can't really beat. Right, okay, and to explain the question, I thought you were going away for 2 weeks. I am. I go away, or Angelica and I go away this Friday, and we're away for 2 weeks, 2 days, and we're going to northern Germany, and we're going to spend time with Angelica's mum and family, and then we're going to visit Dresden, or Dresden, as it's properly called, and we'll be spending 4 days in Dresden exploring in the same way that we've explored Berlin. So it's good to be able to go and visit a foreign country, and since I was last in Germany, I've had 2 years of German lessons. So I should be able to speak the language reasonably well. I can certainly read it and understand it, so I'm looking forward to a break. We've checked out the temperatures, and it's going to be between 70 and 80 degrees most days that we were away. And we say hello to Michelle. Michelle, what good timing. If you never used BeLive TV before, Michelle, and you should, then there is an offer where you could win £2 worth of kit. It's a competition. You'll find the link in the comments here. If you don't, I'll send it to you afterwards, but you can win simply by entering the competition. You have a chance of winning. That's not worked, has it? The ultimate live video super bundle, which includes oh, there it is, MacBook Air. I know you've already got a MacBook. Oh, whoop. Well, yeah, now is the time to do it, Michelle, because you're going to win. Well, not going to win. You have a chance of winning a MacBook Air 2018 version with 8 meg RAM, which is more than enough to broadcast, and 128 SSD storage, a Logitech C920 camera, and a Lerva ring light and microphone. So click the link and you'll stand a chance of winning. Now, when I last looked, the odds were pretty good. I'm going to look and see if anybody's actually entered whilst we've been live on air, and the answer is no, unless it's not updating correctly, which is always a possibility. So now is a good time to actually enter. Now is a good time to go live, because with BeLive Studio 2, it's just an amazing system to actually be able to go live, 4 people on screen, screen share, image share, and upcoming is broadcasting to YouTube and RTMP. Right, okay, now this is one of the sessions, and one of the sessions where I don't actually have an agenda. Not that that makes any difference. And point from Rebecca. Can you point me to a link that will let me know right, okay. Can you point me to a link that will let me know how to use the old or new BeLive? I can definitely give you a link to BeLive Studio 2. This is a free course on Udemy, which Barb has taken. And I'm just waiting for the comment to come through, and just a second. It won't be a minute, Barb. And there we are. Right, okay, so that's the link to the course on Udemy, which is free. And we say good afternoon to my good friend Barb. I love live video.
I hope, do I have audio?
We're on Studio 2. So we're on BeLive version 1, so you've got both.
On my camera, I do have audio, right? You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, but I can also see you as well.
Okay.
It gets confusing. We've gone back to BeLive version 1 today because we don't have iPhone on BeLive Studio 2 yet, and Fonz is on his iPhone. He's out and about, so in order to accommodate Fonz, that's why we're on version 1.
So he's running a little late, or are we punting?
He did say that he would be around, so I'm happy on that. He will appear at some point, but he is visiting hospital at the moment. Visiting hospital, he's not in hospital. So obviously that has precedence. Real world things are more important than live video. So I'm hoping that everything is going the right way and that Fonz will be able to join us both shortly. Now, we've been on quite a journey, haven't we, really, with this live video thing?
Exactly. So can you go over the differences between 1.0 and the new Studio 2 again? I mean, what the
right.
new things are?
I'm going to try and imagine in front of me the Studio 2. Okay. First thing on Studio 2 is that it's your studio. In other words, it doesn't change every time you create a show. So it means you can actually store images in there and assets, and they will stay there, because the guest link is permanent. When I send you a link for a Studio 2 show, it doesn't change. It's always the same. Second thing is, on Studio 2, you can have more than one camera. So that applies to the host and the guest. So I could bring in I've got my main feed here. I could bring in my phone, which is, supposing I was doing a cookery demonstration, which I could make lasagna. Then I could actually show my hands doing the cooking and appear on camera at the same time, 2 cameras. And that is for guests as well. Next thing I can do on Studio 2 is that I can screen share. And that works as before, although I've screen shared a 30-minute video without any problems, and it just, you couldn't tell the join between what was live and what was recorded. So that's a great step forward. There's no the video plays, as simple as that. There's no jitteriness.
With the sound.
With the sound, yeah. I did it from even did it from a Facebook page yesterday. Certainly does it. You could bring in, open a Chrome tab, slide up from Explorer a video or an MP3, and you just press play, and both will actually work. Next thing, screen share is also available to guests. So as a guest on a Studio 2 show, Barb, you could actually share your screen as well. Mm-hmm. We pointed out to them that it might not work with audio, but we're checking on that. Brigetti was able to do it on Friday. Ed wasn't. So, but Ed's on Unix.
Yeah, I think I tested that too, didn't I?
You did,
with you, and we couldn't get the audio, and that was the confusing thing. But I liked it. I liked the interface, much cleaner and more organized, in my opinion. I really like that part. My only concern from my exposure so far is everybody's excited about having that permanent link for guests, but anybody can get a hold of that. True or false, you don't have to be logged into Facebook. You can take that link and click on it and be in the studio.
That you have to log in with Facebook, though. There's still that protection that you've got to be a real person, or you've got to have an account on Facebook to actually get in the show, as far as I know.
Once you click it.
Yeah. I think that to sort of go between being a link which changes every show and a semi-permanent link, you should be able to change it. So if you could actually refresh the link so you get a new link, say, every month, then that would be a good idea. I agree.
I think it would be cool if we could customize the link. So, because you could use that for contests as well, you know, as an exclusive show. And that way you, as a producer, it'd be very secure. And obviously, if they could provide stats for that, that would be major cool.
It would. Right, let's catch up with a couple of comments. Okay, and we're going through that. What are the major differences between? Thank you for spotting that, Barb. We're going through the major differences, and okay, and Michelle, unfortunately, not fortunately, has been a member of BeLive since 2017. Right, okay. Well, you can't win the prize then. You can't win the prize.
We should figure something out. Maybe for Stephen's course for 2.0, maybe you could do something special for 2.0 yourself.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a good course, by the way.
Thank you very much. Very kind. I enjoyed doing it, and I appreciate your very kind comments. I mean, the thing is that you actually, with doing courses, the more you do, the more you learn. And if I was to go back to the course I've done 2 years ago, I would have a totally different approach to those courses. So after I've been on holiday, I may well revisit some of them and bring them up to date and use the technology I used in the current course, because that worked well. And just to those that don't know, I was using a combination of BeLive Studio 2, XSplit VCam, and Screencast-O-Matic. And that was the way I actually recorded all of the course. So you could actually see BeLive Studio 2, you could see XSplit VCam, And Screencast-O-Matic has got to be the best. I'm going to put my hand up here and say Screencast-O-Matic is the most affordable recording and editing solution around. I mean, it's $15 a year.
Right.
And for what you actually get for that, you're getting the ability to record, screen record. You can edit it afterwards. You can put an intro and outro. You can cut sections out. You can put text over. You can overlay images. It's incredible. And just while I'm here, that's the $15 version. If you, and this is another thing, if you upgrade to the full version, which is $49, you get unlimited unlimited video storage, which when you compare it with Vimeo and the like, to have unlimited storage for what was effectively $34 a year is good. And they do store it high quality, and you can send people to the link on Screencast-O-Matic. You can customize it. All right, sales pitch over. Right, okay, so continue our tour. Studio 2, the two things we're waiting for are polls, which will be part of Studio 2, and RTMP. And Bob, I'm glad you're here, right? Because I'm going to talk about APIs. When you broadcast live on Facebook and you broadcast live using BeLive TV or StreamYard or Zoom, you're actually using a piece of software written by Facebook to allow third parties to actually broadcast live on Facebook. That's the application programming interface, or API. And everybody taps into that, and it allows them to, I can give you an example. If you're using the API, you can see and you can display the comments. That's part of using the API. There is, however, a condition of being able to use the API. On Facebook and on YouTube, you can't broadcast to both at the same time. You can't use the API on YouTube and the API on Facebook at the same time, which means that you may be cutting out part of your audience. So there is a way around that. And the way around that is something called RTMP, which has been around quite a while. I can't remember when it's because it's been the protocol for many years before we even got Facebook Live. But RTMP allows us to go live to several destinations at the same time. And if you use Restream.io or Caster.io, then you can restream, in Caster's case, to up to 28 different sites at the same time. I'd like to chat about that in a moment, Bob. But yes, basically, RTMP allows you to broadcast anywhere whilst you're live. Do you have thoughts on that, Bob? I'm sure you do.
I really don't. It, like you said, it's been around forever, and it just, where we're at this point in time in live streaming, they're adding so much on to each application. I think even RTMP is going to be easier than it has been in the past. And I think that Facebook and Google and Microsoft, they're all looking at this and saying, about the restrictions. It's all about getting that message out and communicating and keeping the people on your platform, but they also have to recognize that we're everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And so I see that it will be even easier in the future. And I don't personally use it because I am looking for, I don't use it at this time because being in beta forever, it's like I don't have time to spend on that. And I'm not concerned about streaming to multiple platforms at this time. I stream with intent, so to an audience at a specific time right now. But it's particularly in the next 12 to 24 months, I see that landscape changing dramatically. So.
I agree, because we need to sort of branch out and reach new audiences. But I take your point there that there is the problem with broadcasting to several places at one time is that your attention can only be on one place.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, my reason for broadcasting is basically to actually meet people, and that's to meet people, friends, existing friends, and to make new friends. And that's the way you actually build a network. Now, Barb and I have known each other since the Blab days, and we both got networks that we built on Blab, and we brought with us to Facebook and to YouTube. And but it's not been, you've got one friend one week and 1,000 the next. It's built up over time, hasn't it?
Right.
Yeah, and that's the way. People are always looking for instant success.
Yeah.
And it's not possible.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Now you have to go where your friends are or where they would gravitate. And for my audience, my core audience is on Facebook, and it makes it very easy. It attracts multi-generational, and we know that, not all of our generations are adults. And
True.
I am at a stage in life where my audience is on Facebook and is better off on Facebook, regardless of what is said on the news from time to time, because that one gets attacked the most. I feel that they're safer there. I don't believe that privacy exists anymore.
Nope.
That it's a situation of picking the one that that does the best they can at making things as secure as possible. But they've also got the pockets deep enough to fix it when they screw up. And so that means they'll be around a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, that's true. What you want is a system that's going to stay. I mean, we all went off to Google Plus as an alternative to Facebook, and Facebook's still here. Google Plus is not.
Right.
All right, okay. Message from Fonz. He's got a bad signal at the moment, so hopefully he'll join us when he gets a good signal. But I mean, the thing is that Facebook is a closed environment, isn't it? I mean, it's controlled, it's policed. It's policed by Facebook themselves. It's policed by all its members, and we don't think twice. If we see bad content, we will actually report it. And so basically, it's self-policing to a large extent, in that if you find something in your feed which you take exception to, which just shouldn't be there, then you can report it and Facebook will take action.
Right, and that's important. It really is. So, now we are in one, and something I can't see comments from anyone on Facebook within this in the 1.0, right?
Okay, you should be able to. It should be on the left-hand side.
Let me see if I bring it up. That's just the one between you and me. It shows me the numbers of comments. But
right. Okay. And next to the numbers of comments is a drop down.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last comment we had was from Michelle.
Okay.
And she's gone quiet since.
Okay.
Right.
Didn't that used to be on the other side?
It's all changed. It's
even the 1.0. Are they going to keep 1.0 going?
Right. That's a good question. At the moment, 1.0 will continue for at least the next 2 months. Whether they actually keep it as a training ground for people, because it's, I think that 1.0 could be more intuitive than Studio 2. There are less bells and whistles. Yeah, one person, one camera. I don't know, but certainly for the crossover period, they're actually keeping this version going so that people can switch between the two. At the moment, it's necessary because we can't have a guest via iPhone on Studio 2. Though I did ask the question this morning, and it will happen, as most things will. We've just got to be patient. That's the thing about life today. Nobody's patient anymore, me included. All right, and Rebecca's saying, on my account, there is a slide button that was automatically selected for the old version. Yeah, it's on your profile. As Rebecca says, it's the bottom, and you can actually switch between the two. And it remembers that until next time you go in. So you can switch between version 1 and 2. The only thing is that you won't have anything that's on Studio 2 will not be available in version 1. So that's your photographs, everything that you can't do as much on version 1 as you can on Studio 2.
No, you
Anyway,
really want to have 2 because
yeah.
the whole thing, you save so much time by having your assets there available to you. That's a big thing.
It is. It's so easy to do it because you're actually building up a library which is on the screen there. And the other thing is you can actually bring in the images from your hard drive, which is important during a show, because at the moment, if I want to show a photograph on screen, I can. Let's just go with it for a moment. If I want to show a photograph on screen, then I have to log into Facebook, and then it takes me to my albums, and I'm going to pick one at random. I'm going to pick that one. Okay. I just happen to have that photo to hand. I'll explain why in a minute. I can bring that photo in because it's on a private album on Facebook. What I can't do during the live show is add a photograph to that album, because if I did, I'd actually have to go off screen to do it, and it would take me 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So on version 2, you can actually upload from your hard drive, which means somebody could send you a photograph on Messenger, and within 2 or 3 minutes, you can have that photograph live in your Studio 2. So that's the first change. And I'm showing that photograph if anybody recognizes. We've all recognized who that is, of course. That was part of the show last week when Dolly and Anita were talking about whether gentlemen should wear beards or not. And that was the discussion last week. I have no idea what's going to happen on the show this week. I never do. I just sit in the background and enjoy the show. So yeah, you can bring photographs in from your desktop. Next thing you can do is you can show text on the screen, much in the same way as I can go to the agenda and I can bring up an item from the agenda and I can display that on screen. I can also do scrolling. So those features are in Studio 2 as well. Agendas are different in Studio 2 because agendas are more flexible. You can have as many agendas as you like. It's totally open-ended. And what is more, and this is fantastic for me, if I go and I'm going to do it incorrectly. This is being done on purpose. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. If I just had welcome as a title on the agenda, I'm in Studio 2, I could go and edit that. Yeah.
While it's live.
While it's live, I can change any spelling, add text. I can edit the agenda whilst I'm live.
That's good.
So that's a vast improvement. And also the text actually word wraps as well, or line wraps correctly. And that's younger Stephen Healey. Oh dear. Oh
Touche.
dear, oh dear. Yes, thank you for that. Much appreciated, Chuck. Right, okay, now the final thing is that branding, and this is where it can score. If you're interviewing somebody, then the first sort of 5 minutes of the show will be yourself, and then you bring a guest on. When you bring your guest on, it would be handy if you could actually change the screen frame. You could bring their logo on. You could change the background just to suit them, to make them feel at home. Well, you can now change your logo, layout, and background and theme whilst you're live. And that means that as far as branding is concerned, that covers everything that you can do with the screen layout. I mean, at the moment, I can go like that, and I can go like that. I can even go like that, or like that. But that's the limitation that there is on version 1. And Studio 2 has none of that. Branding, I think branding is important, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So now, as it's been a while since I've been sitting in 1.0, and so I couldn't see any of that as a guest behind the scene when you made any changes.
Yeah.
So I would have to watch the replay in order to experience that.
Yeah.
Same in 2.0, that is not true, is it?
No, it's not. In 2.0, they've listened to what everybody said, and what everybody who's on the show would like to see is what the screen looks like when it goes out to Facebook. So you can. And when I change the screen layout, as I'm doing now, to put to side by side, you can actually see the changes. Now, all Barb is seeing at the moment is an area which has got a band in it, and the band is going narrow and wide, which is not very helpful. So yeah, vast improvement on the Studio 2 screen display, and it's instantaneous. So you're actually seeing what's going live. So one of the major things you can see, which is important, is there's nothing worse than finding out at the end of an hour-long broadcast that your video is not as it should be. When, if you'd refreshed your screen and come back in, the video quality could have been better. So you're actually seeing the video quality of your own camera, and you can monitor that. And if there is a problem, because the thing that everybody tends to take this live video thing for granted, but it's not as easy as that, is it? Things are beyond our control, beyond BeLive's control, beyond
right,
StreamYard's.
Right.
Sorry.
That's true. That, you know, everything, I've lived my life in beta pretty much, and I never expect perfection. And if you do, you lose out on a lot because you'll just continue spinning your wheels. But roll with the punches, and as long as you can refresh your browser, and come back in, and the show goes on, that's the most important thing. But if we were together in real life, just sitting, let's say we're sitting at the kitchen table, just chit-chatting,
yep,
and someone knocks at the door or someone comes into the room, that's an interruption. Train of thought, everything stops. So don't make a big deal out of it. Just roll with the punches and move on.
True, very true. Right, just a reminder, if you are watching live or watching the replay, that you can win a MacBook Air. This is courtesy of BeLive TV. I'm going to post the link again. You can, if you're a new user to BeLive TV, then you can sign up, and you can. This is the kit that you would, if you actually said to, if somebody asked what kit do I need to start, then this is a darn good place to start, isn't it? With the MacBook and the ring light and the microphone and the camera.
I am not I'm not an Apple person, so
no, neither.
So I wouldn't know. And I haven't paid attention to it, but I know that that the package that is listed there is actually pretty phenomenal for a startup. I mean, it's better than good. So.
Totally. I mean, I remember when we were on Blab, it was internal microphone, internal camera, and we were happy. We were as happy as Larry. We didn't have a problem. But then we came to Facebook, and everybody starts upping their game. But you don't need to do it overnight, do you? You don't need the kit that we've just shown to actually live broadcast.
That's
you can
correct.
do it on a lot less.
Well, I mean, that's why I got so excited, because you could use our smart devices, and in a lot of instances and things that I have tested, we can actually go direct from our browser with those smart devices, and that's important, to just be in the moment and press the button and go live for wherever your audience is. So,
true.
I'm watching this morning. And even 1.0 seems better to me and more reliable. From the back end now, because I'm the guest, I'm not seeing a lot of hiccups, so that's great.
In addition to doing Studio 2, the team at BeLive have been working on reliability and quality.
Awesome.
And because that's important. If we look at shows from when BeLive started in October 2016, and now, there's a great deal of difference. So quality is important, video quality is important, and I've no doubt that as soon as Facebook allow us to all have a better resolution, a 1080p, then BeLive will be ready. They won't be alone, but they will be ready, because that helps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've actually got everything together and you've got the ability to broadcast and you're confident in broadcasting, what you're then looking for continually is improvements in terms of both video and sound.
Exactly. And now that we've gone to 4K, the least they could do is 1080. I mean, really. This is
True.
But you know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
One of the things, you know, that I have been known to do is to actually cast my screen, the broadcast screen, to a large, what we grew up knowing as television sets, but to an external screen, you know, that are from, you know, 3 to 6 feet screens. And through the interpolation that each of those devices have, even 720, sometimes 480 looks phenomenal on those big screens. So again, it all depends on how you're meeting your audience, you know, and what your message is.
Yeah, that's true. Corinda often watches the shows on his television. And as you say, the quality on television is better than, Indeed.
And I think that's something as broadcasters that we need to really be aware of, because we have no control over that. Someone can cast our screen to their big screen, and that big screen could be in a large auditorium. We don't know that.
It could be in Times Square.
Exactly.
Right.
That's so true.
True. I want to change tack slightly. Joel Com last week did a show, or he wrote an op-ed, and basically he is currently de-Googling. He's decided that he's had enough of Google knowing where he is, what he's eating, where he's going, and he's going to try and de-Googlify. I just wondered what you all thought. Is it possible, do you think, to actually take Google out of our lives?
It's not just Google. You know, it's not just Google. That's just one platform. Facebook's in there too, because it's all about data manipulation. And right from way back when, you know, from the beginning. So it's how we trust as human beings. We trust that someone we give our information to is keeping it according to the terms they have. We have laws to protect us, but everybody knows the way that life is played out, that doesn't necessarily happen. So I think we as people have to accept responsibility for who we are and what we do. And that's just, you know, in order to connect with each other and come as ourselves, be who we are, we bring that package, and it is what it is. He's not going to get away hiding. I mean, even I was working with some feds last week, and he told me, he says, this guy, he says, I never use Facebook. And and I said, really? And and I said, in your line of work, you never use Facebook? Oh no, I wouldn't go to Facebook. And I said, why do you say that? And he said, well, they just have too much control. And I thought, this is interesting, seeing a government employee who's in the business of protecting us and that, and responding that way. And it's like, you've got to embrace the technology and learn how to utilize it to work around it yourself. Now, Joel can take, I say for Joel Com, major good luck. I probably won't live long enough to see that happen for him. So, you know, it's just
you're looking at. Sorry. No, sorry, my fault. I'm just thinking aloud. Carry on, please.
He's going to get a lot of mileage because there's a lot of in the process of doing what he's doing, because there are much more people in the world who operate under the fear factor than the love factor. And,
yeah.
he's all about, building the community in that. But that's attracting the fear factor. It's like, oh, it's my information. What are they doing with it? But any information can be manipulated.
Yeah, that's true. Every site that you go on will discover something about you. If only the time you're actually on the internet. If you log in anywhere and you go to the site, then they know something about you already. And from your IP address, they know which country you're in. You can't stop it. The thing is though, that there's a stumbling block right at the beginning for Joel, that is, and that is that if you don't use Chrome as your browser and you want to broadcast on BeLive.tv, the only way you can do it is through Safari, which means you've got to be a Mac owner, because Safari is no longer available on Windows. So you're cutting your options down. So that's the first thing, that the majority of the population cannot go away from Chrome, because BeLive won't work. Not only won't BeLive work, StreamYard won't work, Zoom won't work, a whole range of systems won't work. And the second thing is, you can go to alternative browsers, and Joel suggested one called Brave.com. And Brave.com is one of those browsers where they kill adverts and they kill pop-ups and in everybody's interest. Now, Brave.com, I thought, right, okay, I like a challenge, I like something new. And so I went onto Brave.com, and after 4 attempts, I got BeLive working, and I was able to broadcast out solo. Wow. So it does work on the Brave.com browser, but there's always a but. There's always a but. And the but is, on the Brave.com browser, you don't have the Chrome extension to allow you to show your desktop. So, wow. And it will never be there, because the browser is built around the fact that this is the browser, that's it, that's all you're getting. And I don't see Google porting their stuff across to Brave.com anytime soon. So I too wish Joel every success, but it's going to be a hard path, because you can't be private on the internet. It doesn't fit, does it? You cannot be private. You can determine exactly what you see, but you can't determine who sees you and how they see you. So I wish you well.
I have been doing a lot of studying in the use of IP cams, as you know, but because I thought it's really important to share an environment, and by sharing an environment, I'm saying this because I have spent my career building virtual relationships whereby we end up going to events in real life and connecting in person.
Right.
And so it's, if I have a friend in Africa and I want to see them ballooning in Africa, if they need to be up in their balloon, they need to be flying. Well, they can't take photographs and do that too. It becomes, that's why we need multiple cameras. That's why 2.0 is, exciting, because it's giving more possibilities for things like that. But just say an IP camera can be set on a certain station at certain heights, and it can capture what's going on around.
Right.
And that kind of technology. And it can capture audio as well as video. And so if something does happen, everybody else is seeing the same thing. Nobody's messing with the camera. It's raw and real.
It's brilliant news.
I'm hoping that this one and another one that you and I have been testing, I'm hoping that when they have having the multiple cameras, that they will actually address our IP cams, just like ManyCam. It's been a while. I have a lifetime for XSplit, but it's been a while since I've used it. I've been primarily using ManyCam as a virtual camera application, simply because the educational community that I have helped out for the last 10 years, that's their choice. And there's loads of support usage, all kinds of things for us behind the scenes there. But and directly in that application, you can connect your IP camera and share that as a camera. And if we could do that, to me, I would, just like to be picture in a picture with the IP camera, so I can say, this is the environment out here. It's not about me. It's about the story that's going on. And then even at that point, we could do that solo. I like if your partner can't show up. The IP. Now, the thing is, on the ManyCam, on the virtual camera application, you can actually have phones call in from all over the world. You know that, right? And so they can be cameras in there, in that place. And so that's the same kind of thing. And then it really does get down to us as broadcasters and producers, directors, and so forth within our productions. In creating a story that really is dynamic and makes a difference. You know how I feel about that. Is really standing out. You have all of the tools to work with, but it is, and this is something back from our blog days, like I was saying, raw and real, is it because nobody's editing that. It's happening right there. And for event producers, it's actually, when you fear, you don't approach it with fear. Approach it that's the most secure way to do it, because there's no question about what was there, because nobody's manipulated it. And so and from a security level, let's say you're a bad guy, you got all of those security cams on that event, and you got to knock them all out in order to get away with whatever it is. And oh, by the way, if you're a novice, they've got you everywhere you're going. So that automatically creates a more secure environment. People who live a fearful life will say, well, Big Brother's watching me everywhere. It's like, get over it. It is what it is.
That's true. That's true. I mean, if we go through our local town centre, then we've got CCTV everywhere. From the moment you actually enter anywhere close to sort of the centre, you're actually monitored all the way through. Yeah. And the result of that is that we have no crime in the town centre itself, because if you do anything, you're going to be caught on camera. And these days, they're very good quality cameras, and you'll be identifiable. So yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating area, and it was just not enough hours in the day, Barb.
Yes. I'm going to have to go because, it's getting around that time. I've got to take care of my corgi again. But I wanted to leave you with this, is that, today, Elon Musk is making a really big announcement, and you need to check into that with neuroscience and what he's doing. It's going to be all over the place on the news today. So you have a good one. I'm going to take off. So I'm just going to stop my camera and I'm gone. Correct?
Well, pleasure as always. Take care. See you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye. And now we're back to me. I was going to bring that photograph up again. If you have any questions at all about anything in relation to live video, then please do ask them. If you've not entered the competition yet and you're eligible, then please do so. I'm hoping, well, as Chuck said earlier, Rebecca, good. Can you speak to the ability to broadcast live using BeLive from events or out in the field? Advice for equipment to have. Is there a booster for Wi-Fi? Right, my friend David Burrows, who I do a show with on Monday, broadcasts outdoor events in Sarnia in Ontario every weekend. And his setup is quite simple. It doesn't involve BeLive at all. He uses his iPhone. And that's probably the simplest and best way to have somebody holding the iPhone. You're on the remote mic, and that works well. The only other way to do it is that you have a desktop, because all BeLive shows start on desktop, and you sit in a corner somewhere at the event and you produce the show from your laptop, and then you can have people out on mobile reporting from around the event. That would be a great use of it. I know Brigetti does that, and I know David, as I say, does a lot of live broadcasting of external events, and he'd be a good person to speak to. That is, I'll just put the name in. If you tag him in BeLivers, then David Burrows, I'm just waiting for this comment to come through. David Burrows is your man, and he'll be able to speak to that. Yeah, David is the person that can help you with that. And he deals with all the different Wi-Fi situations as well. And he and I have been friends. We broadcast together every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and well over time. And he would be my go-to man to actually talk about live broadcasting. Okay, so I'm going to give you a final reminder. I just want this on the recording, that you can win a MacBook Air 13-inch 2018 with 8 gig RAM, which is more than enough for broadcasting, 128 meg SSD storage, and a camera. And all you need to do, I'm going to post a link for the last time, is all you need to do is to go to this page, and if you're new to BeLive, then you can comment and you can enter. Right, okay, now it's been a pleasure chatting with you today. Thank you for joining. Thank you to Barb for joining. Barb and I have known each other for 4 years now. We met on live video, and we do occasionally get together, and we're always in touch with each other. So shout out for Barb. Next show involving me, I'll be behind the camera, is at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and that's called the Power Hour with Dolly and Anita, and I'll be in the producer's chair on Studio 2. You won't see me on screen unless anything goes wrong. Nothing's going to go wrong. So 1 p.m. tomorrow, and it's on the same page as you're on now. And thank you, Rebecca. Very kind. And that's what live video is good at. It's actually bringing people together to have a chat. And then I, as Chuck said earlier. Oh, thank you, Erica. Wonderful. Always nice to meet people. I love meeting people. Right. Okay. Come this Friday, I'm off. I'm taking 2 weeks off this live broadcasting thing. Total break. I'll be in Germany with Angelica, and we'll be visiting and touring northern Germany. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be back around about the 6th of August. Until then, have a wonderful time broadcasting yourselves. If you have any questions, go to BeLive's group. Everybody there will help you, and that's what I love about the group. And thank you for watching today. I'll see you all again, well, in August. Bye for now. Where's the off button on this one? I get confused between studio. No, right, I'm going. Bye.